Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to another live edition on Instagram. We got Brenden, Margo, Margieson for you. I hope you guys are as excited as I am. He's coming in now. Margo's joined. Here we go. Here we go. Add. This is awesome. We're waiting for Margs. Yeah.
Come on.
You're on. We're
I didn't know I
official.
could use technology so well. I'm amazed at myself. No.
It's so funny. I started doing this because I was on the phone too much and I was just mindlessly going through Instagram, and I'm like, what could I do that could have more purpose during this time that everybody's obviously having difficulty with?
Yeah.
And this has pinned me on my phone more than I ever imagined. But
Yeah.
it's
For
with a really awesome tone.
Yeah.
So it's really funny for me, Margo, because you and I have never met.
I know, but I feel like I know you, Alex.
What?
Because I watch your stories and I see you, because I started following you on Instagram, and you're such a friendly, all your morals are perfect. You're just a good human from what I can tell. And, everything that you've been through and I've been through, I guess we had this little weird connection, which is cool. But yeah, just the way you surf too. You can tell you're the real deal. You rip.
You cannot give me a compliment because it doesn't fall in the same grandstands. Margo, I hope you understand the long-lasting effect that you have left on 80s babies like me. I was born in 1986, if this gives you any idea. It's so cool with you. I mean, within my generation of surfers, and I gotta fluff your ego here to start this interview. It's part of it. Don't worry, Chris Malloy was freaked out, and he says hello, by the way.
Yeah, hey Chris. Chris is a legend.
But man, it is so amazing how everybody reveres and respects you as a surfer. And I watch you from afar, and you're just the nicest, you're like this gentle giant. And then what freaks me out is you go out in the water and you surf like a Tasmanian devil.
Tasmanian devil.
Oh man, your attitude when you step up on a surfboard is bar none to anybody that I've ever seen. And you've already heard this in your whole career, but listen, you're still affecting people at this point of your life, and this is more a homage.
Yeah.
From surf fans like me that are like, dude, I just want to know more about you.
More about me. Well, I still surf. I still get out there. Not as much as I'd like, especially these times. But I'm probably enjoying my surfing now more than I have in the last 10, 12 years, because I don't have to prove, I used to feel like I had to prove myself. A lot of people don't think that, but we had these sponsors and we got paid to surf, so I felt like the pressure of that it got to me, I guess, after a long period of time. But now I can just get out there. I don't have stickers on my board, and I don't care if I fall off on the first wave, or I can just do whatever I want to do. And I really enjoy that aspect of surfing again. Just surf because I surf because I love to do it, and because it's fun, and it's so good for everything. So yeah, I'm enjoying my surfing again, and like I said, I don't have to go out there and be the best surfer in the world, which you always sort of have that in the back of your mind. You want to push your limits as much as you can, but I just love being in the water. Love it. But it's hard right now, isn't it? Because I know it's so hard for you guys. My gosh, you guys can't surf. That's freaking, I still can't comprehend that right now. And I understand why you're doing this sort of stuff to keep, things rolling. But I managed to have a swim this morning, and the waves are small here. But I've just actually moved from New South Wales to Queensland.
Oh.
And it's hard for me to cross the border back. Like New South Wales and Queensland, it feels like it's two different countries at the moment. The rules are a little bit different, but we're still both allowed to surf. But for me to cross the border is... I don't know, everyone doesn't want to surf in each other's backyards right now because of the social distancing thing and that. So So I'm avoiding traveling, just obviously just going for a swim out the front of my place and a quick little surf here and there, just in and out. And I just hope everyone else can just do the same. So, you know, this unfortunate event doesn't, you know, what's happened to you guys? You guys can't even surf at the moment. I'm just like, far out, man. It freaks me out. Sorry, I'm rambled.
Oh, no. Hey, so the whole point of this is rambling.
Yes.
And I'm here as a facilitator, but honestly, I'm here to listen and learn.
Yeah.
And I'll do my best to, you know, poke the button that you talk about. But, dude, we are all so happy to just listen to what it is that you're, you know, willing to offer today. And
Yeah.
to hear you open up with that you're enjoying your surfing after 10 or 12 years.
Yes.
I'm going to skip what is usually me just straight up fluffing my heroes because I want you to know why I'm doing this and how much I revere you, but I don't even think I need to explain that anymore. I am at the point where stickers are coming off more than they're coming on my board. Yes. I got a 15-minute phone call from my major clothing company after 18 years.
Yeah, wow.
That was just, it was a guillotine with no explanation behind it and a quick ending. And I went into a really gnarly depression.
I can relate to that. Yeah.
And I don't think people understand the investment of emotionally where we go as surfers who love our craft, but then get the opportunity to do it 24/7 with a paycheck backing it. I mean, let's call it a blank check, if you will. You don't have to put a number on it because you get to travel to your favorite places without thinking about it, to go and try and be the best person that you are on your craft. And when that was taken away from me, my self-identity, and even more so to pinpoint it, my self-purpose went out the window. Yeah. And it wasn't that I lost.
And it happens like that. It happens overnight. And then it's sort of like all of a sudden you're not in the front cover of magazines, or you're not in the magazines, or I mean, it's a bit different now. You're not, it's like being big on Instagram and all of a sudden you've lost a lot of followers or something. It's the same sort of feeling. It's like, what have I done? But you haven't done anything, and it feels like the surfing's still as good as you ever have, and probably better. And it's just a stage in your life where it's like, yeah, you start looking back at yourself. But it's just, I guess it's an age thing. It's not only us surfers, it happens to all sports people. And everyone experiences it in some time in your life. But that's when I look at it now, it's, yeah, you learn so much from it and you realize there is a lot more than surfing in life. And I think that's, as soon as you realize that and get over that hurdle, you can move forward with your life with bigger and better things. Yeah.
So bring me there, Margo, because, you know, we go back to, gosh, you know, the beginning of all of the generation that was Billabong movies, your relationship with Jack McCoy. Yeah. Cheers, baby. It's early in the morning, guys. It's morning time.
It's water. It's water. No, it's water.
But you came on the scene and from what I understand, you know, look, everybody recognized your surfing. And what was so fun and what I'd love to know was, I believe you went into a jersey aspect competitively, but are really known as one of the first, if not the first, free surfers. And a free surfer is defined as somebody who makes money in surfing outside of wearing a competitive jersey, to go out and create a lifestyle that, look, it's hard for me because I love competition, but we all just want to go to the waves that we want to go to the waves that we draw in our notebooks at school, that our school teachers are wrapping rulers on our wrists for saying, you have no future doing that. And you're like, watch this. How did you transition from what was a time period that was really based off of competitive surfing? And your era was Danny Wills, Luke Egan. You came from a really gnarly time of guys vying for world titles. Yeah. Were you awkward in a jersey and it didn't feel comfortable and you're like, that's not where my love is? I want to go travel. And Jack McCoy came in to allow you to do that. Billabong, how did it all transpire?
I guess I always like it. I love competing, and obviously when you win a heat, not that it happens often, or a contest, it is the best feeling. It's so rewarding and fulfilling, but it didn't happen to me often, and I guess it's in your blood. You're either competitive or not. And sometimes I thought I was, other times I didn't, but unfortunately I was one of those guys that cracked under pressure a little bit more than probably the average person. Because I put so much expectations on myself, I guess. And I guess I wasn't really competing with anyone else except myself. So I'd be very stubborn in a heat, and I'd be in a heat and go, no, I'm going to sit here because a wave's going to come here. I'm not, I just get sidetracked on my own little thing. But I was always not a, I guess I was probably my worst, person I was competing against was myself. And I don't know, I was just lucky too. My sponsors always saw that as an early age that I wasn't the best competitor. And there was a route at the time of traveling and free surfing, and I guess I was the guy at the right place at the right time. I said, well, you know what, let's just send you to Bali or Indo or wherever in the world, take a photographer, take our latest clothes, and come back and just get some editorial. And things just sort of rolled from there. And yeah, I guess I was just that guinea pig at that time in the early 90s where the industry was booming, and there was, I don't know, it was Jack McCoy was around, he was the pioneer. And yeah, all of a sudden I was just in movies and just doing editorial surf trips with magazines. And I don't know, everywhere I went, the waves pumped, things just rolled, and everything I touched sort of turned to gold there for a few years. And yeah, I was very fortunate and very lucky. But yeah, I'll never forget those times. Yeah, it was amazing. It's an amazing life. I don't know, it just sort of happened. 10 years just went poof. Yeah, it was longer actually, 10, 15 years. But towards the end of my career, the harder I tried, it was sort of hard to I don't know, the expectations. I guess I achieved everything, as a free surfer. It was hard to sort of keep blowing people's minds, I guess, because my name was around for such a long time. But yeah, I don't know. It just happens so quick. Now that you look back at it, you don't think it is at the time, but I guess time flies when you're having fun.
You're surfing, the way you hold your rail, I felt like you were riding longer boards. You're a bigger dude. I'm 5'8", I don't know in kilos, but 145 pounds. I'm just a little guy. I'm a little guy over here, Margo, and I'm like jealous of the big boys because I've never had that power. But
nah, you got power.
No, mate. I don't have power. I haven't been having my Vegemite, mate.
No, that's the key.
Who were you looking up to during the developmental years of your technique to create what was the style that really you stand alone?
I don't know. I guess I was influenced by a lot of the people that surfed in my local town, really. There was a high caliber of really good surfers in that Byron Bay area where I grew up. But then Occy was a bit older than me. He was like 7 years older than me. And obviously his surfing was ahead of its time, I feel, back in the early days. So I was always Luke Egan. I just loved goofy footers, their backhand approach. It was my thing that I was amazed at. Just goofy footers in the early days, like the Luke Egans, the Ockies, Ronnie Burns even. Like, there's so many, I don't know, they had a certain thing about their backhand approach. I love backhand surfing. I just loved going backside. That was my thing. But I felt like I was a good backhand surfer. But they had a certain element to their surfing that, I don't know, that's what I was drawn to. Yeah. And I tried hard to use their power and their calves and whatnot in my style of surfing. Frontside, not so much. It's weird. I just, whatever. But I was addicted to watching guys like the Ockies, I guess. I was really looked up to Ockie surfing back in the day. Yeah, Tom Carroll too, obviously. But
So,
then you guys like Current on the F1. I don't know. There's such a good
oh,
generation
keep
of surfers
going,
back then.
please.
Yeah, I know. It's amazing. But it's amazing just seeing the progression of surfing. And for me right now, and seeing people froth out on me still, you know, many years on, and comparing my style of surfing to the, you know, people surfing in 2020 is such a compliment. And I'm very, yeah, blown away that people still respect my surfing. It means a lot. Yeah, it's awesome.
It's so cool. You have the respect of the entire surf world, which is so cool. Anytime your name is brought up or I speak to anyone, everyone goes, that guy's my hero. My friend in the Basque Country this morning messaged me going, you're talking to Margo? I was like, I know, I can't believe it too. You know, these are 30-year-olds now that we're still so inspired. I honestly still put on your sections before I go surf, and there's waves that I take off on and go, okay, think like Margo. And it's like, take my half bottom turn into a full bottom turn, and then that lip that I want to kind of go out in front of, I'm like, dude, Margo wouldn't do that.
I love it.
Margo would make that lip.
Oh, you're funny.
And it's fantastic because your surfing is timeless. And what really brought me to you was the resurgence of pulse surf.
Yeah, my good friend Justin Kane. Yeah. Pulse surf.
That's it.
Yeah, he's amazing. He's obviously got some time on his hands of recent, and he's just bringing back all the old videos that he's done from the early 90s. And obviously I played a big role in his movies, as long as many other people did too. But so it's awesome to watch his clips on Instagram, and he's doing a daily thing of everyone back, you know, in the early 90s. And it's great to see the difference between now and then of the surfboard transition, everyone riding longer boards, and just the rails, you know, everyone's turns being drawn out a lot more. Yeah, so it's like, it's cool. It's really cool to see that.
Speaking of that, hey, shortboards have, you know, it's changed now. You know, I mean, Slater's riding 6-inch shorter boards. Surfing has changed. Everything's a lot tighter. It's not that long.
Yeah, and I tried to progress with that too.
And that's why someone like me,
yeah, sorry.
somebody like me comes back to your surfing because, oh, okay, are we in now? Can you hear me?
All good. I'm all good.
Speaking of longer boards, yeah. I think a lot of us come back to your surfing because it stands out now. As futuristic as surfing is gone, there's almost this void where someone like me is like, God, I just want to watch Margo's lines and that power, that raw, clean thing where it's different now.
Yeah, it is different now. And I tried to progress riding shorter boards, and that it just didn't work. I couldn't adjust to riding extra shorter boards. I couldn't draw my turns out. And then when I did, yeah, my turns out. And basically, the key for me was coming off the bottom. To me, everything's about, if you can't come off the bottom with that drive and that spurt to just go up into that next section, then it just makes it harder to surf for me. I'd rather just come off the bottom slowly with power and then spring into, release the carve. But that longer board plane makes that work. For me, personally, I mean, it doesn't necessarily work for other people, but for me, I tried that transition, but I've gone back to riding 6.4s as my shortboard again, instead of going down to 6.1s, 6.2s. And it's amazing, even just that 3-inch difference can make a difference in my shortboards. But yeah, but then I got on a 6.7 the other day when it was a bit bigger. I was like, ooh, there it is. It's just that riding that step up boards, ooh, that turns me on.
Yeah. When I think of an all-time session of you, I think of the Haleiwa session. That's in Wonder Jar.
Yeah. that was pretty. I think I was on a.
Was that a?
You got me?
That seemed like a really pivotal time in your career, you know, I don't know if surfers peak or whatnot, but during that time you watched that footage and nobody, I can't say nobody, but I don't know, man. There's not many people surfing that wave like that ever.
Yeah, I felt like I had a really good relationship with Haleiwa back in the day. To me, it was a place I went to. It wasn't a place where the main focus was. It was rocky rights and rocky lefts and off the wall and pipe were just like the go-to spots for, you know, making a name or getting your photos done, you know, doing your job. But to me, back then, Haleiwa was like, I escaped the crowd a little. It was big, it was powerful. And I don't know, once you get on that little roll of, you know, go out the back and a wave comes and then the rip takes you back out. You get on that little spinning wheel and it all connects. It's amazing. Like, I don't know, but just the power of the wave, the speed, it just felt like it really suited my style. And it didn't feel like I had hassles with the crowds. Like I'm very timid in crowds. I like just to take my turn and to sort of, yeah, not get in hassles. And I always seem to get a lot of waves out there and, connected well with that wave. Although I surfed a couple of contests there and I always got knocked straight away. I was like, what is this contest thing?
You know, some people, and it was hard for me. I would put a jersey on and it wasn't my inner competitiveness. My downfall was that I got too affected by the people around me. And when I felt nervous, or scared, or had a lack of self-confidence, I would get competitive and try to stop others. And it wasn't that I focused on my personal ability, it was that I literally started competing. And it was hard for me because I almost lost what was me mindlessly surfing and the joy of being in a beautiful place. And I was so, my results depicted my happiness, and that's where I went wrong within a jersey.
Yeah.
And that's where you helped me to walk away from that and start traveling to places I always dreamed of.
Yeah. I'm glad I helped pave the way for you then. No, it's amazing. Like,
you've done it for a lot of us.
I know, it's amazing. Like I said, if it wasn't me, it was going to be someone else. And I just happened to be that guy that career path started in an early age. But there was guys before me. Like Gary Green is one that comes to mind. Rip Curl sort of started that thing in an early era, and then Billabong followed suit. But I guess I was one of those guys. I got paid to surf, and it became a career option for a lot of young generation, new 80s guys out there, realizing, wow, there's actually, you can make a career just going surfing. Are you kidding me? And then it brought a whole, you know, just different era of surfing. I mean, obviously, and then it was cool. It was like the free surfing, the air guys, competitive guys. Then the big wave resurgence happened, and all of a sudden there was all these different areas in surfing. It was really cool to see that branch out and just that one sort of narrow-mindedness of one area of surfing. And all of a sudden there's all these different routes people could go with their careers as being a surfer. But it seems like now it's got to a level with like everything on this planet. It's just everything overloaded, and seems, you know, it seems weird at the moment with the way the world is and the way, you know, I look at my son now, he's like a young 10-year-old boy just he can't even travel or do anything. And I really feel sorry for the younger generation of any kid trying to be a sports person or whatever, or a musician or anything. It's just like crazy times. So sorry I kept bringing back to that, but it's sort of sad for the younger generation right now.
Well, and even before the coronavirus hit, the surf industry globally was in a bit of a downfall. And if you look historically at the years that you went through your competitive career, you lived through, let's call it the golden years. I mean, that's when the real money was really in surfing.
It was. Whoa! I got a can of tuna holding you up. You're held up by a can of tuna here.
You know, you got to travel with Aki. There were some sessions that we watched video-wise. All of the Billabong movies, the Paul Surf movies. You know, are there times that you can recollect on now, looking back and going, God, that was the best time of my life?
Yeah, it was. Like, I can't believe I'm one of those old guys now going, back in the day. But I am that old guy now. But anyway, I'm still young at heart. So, but yeah, it was amazing times. They were the best. You know, those memories I'll have forever. And yeah, I just can't believe some of the surf breaks that I went to. They were uncrowded. The Mentawais and our lives. A lot of places were like there was no one there then. Like we were the only boats. We were the only people around. There's just me and the little crew. There's always like 4 or 5 guys in the lineup, and whatever was around the corner, no one knew. They wanted spots up in the Mentawais. Like, ooh, it was incredible. So I'm very fortunate to be able to experience that.
Is there a session or sessions that you look back and go, oh my God, we really had it good, and I was with so and so, and that was just, God, I wish I could do that again?
There's one in particular. It was actually before the major earthquake up in Banda Aceh, but we're up at the Asu Islands. There's what's called Asu's, the left-hander up there, and that wave was one of the best, longest lefts on it, like a G-landy, but we had that 6 to 8 foot for about 3 days, and the inside bowl of that place was absolutely mind-blowing. It was the longest wave, but just ended with this crazy, usually got spat out. It was just like mind-blowing wave. But then the earthquake happened and the reef just went, just lifted up out of the water, and the wave doesn't really exist. And it's still there, but it's only the top section. And it's like a big reef break now. So yeah, it's sad to know that wave, yeah, it'll never be the same again. So yeah, that was, I don't know, I would have loved to have kept, that was probably my favourite wave, Asu. Yeah, and it picked up a lot of swell. It's consistent. I'm sure a lot of people that surfed it beforehand knew how good it was.
What does style mean to you?
What does style mean to me?
Surf style. Yeah, surf style.
Yeah, to me, it's everything. I think it's everything about surfing, because it's not just about doing maneuvers. It's about the style is good. I think it reads people's personalities quite a lot. You see, some people's styles are real aggressive, and I'm laying the aggressive people, and people really cruisy, you know, whatever. But style is an individual thing, obviously, and style is like a form of like being in the present, being in the moment of doing it without even realizing you're doing it. I think that's what style is, not realizing you're doing it, and it's just naturally happening. Styles, you can't copy style. You can't. People that try and copy style, certain styles, to me, it doesn't work. It doesn't look right. So style comes from deep within, and it's something that you're either born with it, or you have it, or you don't, I guess.
I remember the first time I saw myself surf, and I'm like, oh my God, my style is so bad. I was so upset when I finally saw my first video of me. I'm like, oh crap, man, I thought I surfed like Tom Curran.
You got a good style.
No, I'm trying to copy you still. Did being videoed at a young age, would you guys surf your sessions and go back and watch the films after? Was that part of the whole evolution of your surf style, or?
Not till I was later. Yeah, I never really got to see myself properly until my 20s. Little bits and pieces here and there, but yeah, I just surfed, or just whatever. The surfing was about having fun in the early days. It wasn't about, I didn't know I was going to make the career I made out of surfing, but not until my early 20s I got to see myself. And I guess when I was filming with Justin Gain in the early days with Neil Purchase, the three of us used to we were on a, you know, for a couple of years there, we just surfed, came back, had a beer or whatever, and watched ourselves surf on footage. It was like amazing. But then I realized, yeah, got to really focus and analyze my surfing back in the day. But yeah, in my early days, no, I don't know, I saw the odd photo here and there, but I did notice watching my style did change quite a bit from early days, from when I was 12 or 13 to when I was 18. Like my legs were wide, and all of a sudden they went too close. But it just happened naturally. Like no one told me, oh, do this, do that. I just did it on your own. Yeah. And I think that's important. I think you don't want people to copy other people's styles. I think it just doesn't, I'm not cool. Whatever. You can do what you want, but I just think you just got to let it come from within, you know. I don't want to be hippie about it, but it's just like, just do it. You don't copy people.
I love it. You know, people are funny. They're like, oh, you know, you surf these big waves, this and that. I'm like, look, that's the same thing.
Yeah.
I've been through it. It's like a head highway for me. Takes a little bit more now. And they're like, oh, you do this and that. I'm like, listen, I'm just trying to get back to innocent Alex at 10 years old that didn't have an ego, that wasn't so concerned about everything that people thought about him, that didn't judge himself to the surfers that he was sitting next to, which is where my nervousness came in. I mean, I'd be filming for movie parts and try to just like find a peace of mind. And I dealt with that. And when I watch your movie parts, it looks so confident, like your self-confidence and just your mindlessness and mindfulness are there. And it's super attractive. You know, is surfing for you what puts you in the moment where you can only find it on a board?
Yeah. That's 100% right. Like, you surf for yourself, you know, and not for anyone else. You just surf for your own personal journey, and whether it be, and to me, and I'm sure like everyone else, you want to better yourself every surf, every session. To give yourself that opportunity too, you sort of got to be at one with the ocean and connect with the ocean for those elements to happen right too. So surfing's so rad. It's such a spiritual sport that, I just, even when I was shooting with with Jack McCoy in the water or Gainey on the beach, those best sessions were not even thinking about them being there or whatever, surfing, just being there, just, you know, being in the present, just doing whatever. And if they happen to get the wave, they get the wave. Obviously, when you're shooting water, you've got to connect with the photographer or whatever. But if it's a perfect reef break or whatever, it's easy to sort of get that connection. But I like to just forget that they're there, and just, if a section was there, whether the camera that was there or not, whatever. Because every time you did try and connect, it doesn't really work. When you try and work too closely. I mean, it does, but for me, I just like to if they happen to be there, they did it. If I happen to bottom turn after a water photographer's there and do a big turn just after it, so be it. I'd rather hit that section properly than try and do it in front of the cameraman and blow it or whatever. I don't know.
I think I watched a section of you at Lakey Peak, and I'm like, why didn't he just drop in and start dragging his butt and get barreled? And your MO was to drop in and do a just long, driven bottom turn. And then where I'm like, oh, I was going to get spit out. You had done a turn and we're getting spit on coming out of a turn. Yeah. And it's those moments that separate you from someone like me. And I rewind your section. I'm like, how was he even thinking that way?
I don't know. Those waves, I don't know. It's just if the transition of the wave's just perfect shape, no matter how, you know, what site, whatever. It's there to be hit. It's the canvas is there to play on. You know, it's good. And I just feel like when you got that bigger board, like I know the session you're talking about. To me, that's the perfect size. That's
Talk
6 to 8
through
foot
it. Come
range.
on, bring us back, Margo.
Oh, well, I just find when the waves are I'm not a big wave surfer at all. When waves are like 6 to 8 foot, that's my, woohoo, my exciting little, you know, I get excited about. And that's when I feel like I surf my best, is when I'm riding like a 6'7" or a 6'10", and then the speed and the push is there, and everything's a bit slower. The waves are moving, you know, like you got time to do stuff. But yeah, that day at Lakers was really good. There was only 4 or 5 of us out, I think, and it was smoking. It was really good and glassy. It was like not offshore, but it wasn't. It's just everything was just nice. Yeah. I want to go there now and surf.
Would it trip you out now if it wasn't 4 to 5 guys in a little bit different scenario?
I know. I think I haven't done much traveling at all for quite a while. Actually, I went to Hawaii with my son, actually, just before all this stuff
I saw that.
Yeah, and that was the first trip I've done overseas in quite a few years. But yeah, it's just hard going back to a lot of places in Indo and that, and knowing the crowds are there, and it's just intense. And I don't know, I guess I was spoiled, man. I had a lot of waves, so I didn't have to deal with hassling and stuff. Yeah, I guess, but it's cool. That's whatever. Yeah.
One of my favorite movies of all of your movies is your documentary Wonder Jar, and immediately what comes to mind is, how did you name it that movie?
That's funny. I was sitting in the plane. I think Wonder Jar means in German, journeyman. I was pretty cool with calling the movie Journeyman or whatever, and that's what we're going to call it. But it seemed a bit, look at Margo trying to be the journeyman. And Justin just thought, wow, let's use Wonder Jar, because it's really wacky and weird, and it just might stick in people's minds. So we just, fuck it, let's just use Wonder Jar.
I love it. How important was that relationship for you with Justin and Jack McCoy to be able to produce professional quality things that inspired people, but to have them as friends as well?
I guess it's a key, because you're going to do a lot of traveling together. So yeah, you got to have a friendship base, I guess. And we just create ideas together, and yeah, get a budget together and travel and just share our ideas. It's like a sort of like a mini secret handshake business agreement, but at the same time, you're just 2 young mates having fun and just exploring the world. So, you know, he's very dedicated with what he did. Spent a lot of hours on the beach, you know, those sessions where I didn't do anything at all. And battery's about to die. Bugger. Yeah.
Plug your phone in, Margo. Margo, get the plug.
Can you get the plug, please? Plug?
Yeah. Ask your better half. This is what Chris Malloy did too. Hello. Come on. We want to meet her.
You're gonna. She's got to get the plug.
So Chris Malloy had his wife yesterday sit next to him for the hour and a half in case he had technical difficulties.
Well, Lorena's not too far away, because
I'm
scared of that too. I'm actually on her phone, because my phone's a bit old vintage one, and I knew the quality wouldn't be as good. So, well, we have to move.
I love it.
Yeah. Yeah, but Chris Malloy, Chris met on my first trip to Hawaii when I was, I think I was 16. Chris and I were both 16. We were both young grommets staying at his house at sunset. And we had a great connection straight off the bat. Yeah, Chris is a legend. I'd love to say good day to him.
Before we stop, maybe you have to hold.
Got it.
Hold it. That's it. It might be working. Should be working.
We're good.
I'm so technologically unadvanced, Margo. As hard as this is for you, it is for me. And I don't think people realize that. This whole new series of me talking to my heroes like you, it's all day for me. It's recording things, trying to figure out this, internet. I was trying to start like this thing to occupy my mind because I cannot surf. And
There you are.
That's my phone fell down.
Yeah.
It's perfect timing. So you and I are in the same boat, but I don't have an awesome lady plugging my phone in for me.
Yeah. Oh, well.
So you're still winning. You are still winning.
Yeah, yay. That's funny.
Okay, so look, we've got all the good stuff. There was a resurgence of you. You know, it started with Paul Surf, but then I started following you, and I looked through your Instagram, and your first post,
Yeah.
being is that your and my relationship is virtual.
Yep. Isn't that weird?
It's a picture of you. It's a picture of you in a suit with a hat on, with like a walkie-talkie, and it almost looks like you're like an earthquake surveyor, or
no.
I'm like, wait.
Yeah. What was I doing?
But
I worked
what's
as a
Margo
surveyor in
doing?
the desert. Yeah. Yeah, I worked for a
So-
geophysics company. Yeah.
But from being, I mean, come on, one of the most revered, respected surfers in the world, to your first post being you as a surveyor, what was the transition there? What happened?
Well, I guess it comes to a stage in your life where you got to get a job, and yeah, become you got to pay the rent, and yeah, so it was cool. I worked in the desert, and I actually worked out at the airport at Coolangatta. So I'm the guy pushing the planes back, waving them in. But I've just got stood down because of the coronavirus. There's no flights now. But that's cool. Life goes on, and it's all good. Feels like I'm on.
Wait. So you're telling me if I flew into Coolangatta to go surf with Mick Fanning for a perfect swell, I could get brought in on my 747 by Brenden Margieson?
Yes. It's pretty funny.
Australia is the best country in the world.
Too funny. I know. But it's a good job.
Listen, when I land in LA,
can you wave my plane in?
Kelly Slater is not landing my plane, Margo. Did our screen stop?
You're frozen, and you got a good.
Hey, I'm gonna end it, and I'm gonna call it. I'm gonna end it and call you right back.
Okie dokie.
Oh wait, we're back.
Oh, there you are.
Back.
You're back.
Here we go. We're good. So, okay. First off, before we go there, I want to hear one more relationship clause.
Yes.
You and Morris Cole, your surfboard shaper.
Maurice, yeah. What a legend.
You don't see Morris's boards like so Morris. So I mean I think of Tom Curran was on Morris.
Yeah.
Did incredible things, you know, outside of his sponsorship with Channel Islands and Al Merrick. And then I think of you and what you guys had, and when I watch your sections, I swear, like when I see that little bear, the little Morris Cole logo on your boards, I'm like, oh God, watch out for this.
That's so funny. Yeah, it's funny. I haven't ridden on Morris Cole for over 10 years and haven't spoken to Morris. And then only 5 or 6 months ago, we reconnected, and he shaped me a bunch of boards again. And that feels amazing to ride his boards again. Yeah, so I love it. Like I said, I tried different boards. Not saying my other boards didn't work good. I've got fantastic boards from other shapers who are good friends. And but just to get back on a Morris Cole, just that old feeling, it was just like, it felt amazing to get, just ride his boards again. It just feels right. It feels good. And just to get that drive, speed, and power, incredible.
All right, Margo. So I keep hearing 10 years, and I'm gonna poke you here.
Okay, poke the big bear.
Is that when the surf career ended? What was 10 years ago?
Well, actually, it's longer than 10 years ago, really. I'm 47 now. I guess my career finished when I was around 32, 33. But I sort of chose to end my career. I didn't want to be that old guy, that's what I felt at the time, like trying to hang on and be like, oh, I'm still trying to be a pro surfer. That was in my head a lot, and I just felt like I had a family to support. I had to get a normal 9 to 5 job. That was also in my head. I was scared of the transition, I guess. I worked for Billabong for a few years, and then, I guess I struggled with, I actually got really sick of the surf industry, to tell you the truth. I guess I was always around it. And then I became a part of it, I guess, internally as, not out there free surfing and doing my thing. Then all of a sudden I was in an office with no windows on the computer just going, wow, this is life, really? Then it all sort of come crashing down on me, and I sort of struggled with it, and took me a while to get over it. And then just, life sort of went into a bit of a weird path for me there for a while, but I snapped out of it, and then, I got another good job, and I had a lot of support from friends and family. I got back on my feet and got a little bit more spiritual, I guess, and a bit more grounded about where I'm at. And I don't know, I just feel a lot stronger, a lot smarter, a lot wiser from my experience there for a while. And I actually didn't even surf for about 2 years, which is a bit scary. And I actually put on a bit of weight, and I had depression. But I got over that, and I don't know, it feels like a new lease on life, I guess. But I've been in a good place now for over about 7 years. I've like keeping to myself. It's pretty funny that I'm doing this interview, because I don't do this stuff. I haven't done anything like this. I did a little thing about a month ago.
Thank you.
Yeah, so I've kept pretty quiet for a long period of time, and I'm just happy living a simple, healthy life now and enjoying my surfing. Got a beautiful partner and get to see my kids every now and then, and life's good.
You're sharing such a gift with us, Margo. Thank you so much for talking about that, because from afar, when you're put in a limelight, you're here.
100%, yeah.
But in our surf industry, and where I never related, was we were never allowed to be here or there. It was always about being the person at the brand, or maybe what you felt like you were supposed to be globally.
Yeah.
But within all of there, our careers are so young, and you're going to have life test you the hardest ways during those times. But that was never part of being a professional surfer.
No, there was no guidebook or no rule book or like, there was, But, saying this too, like, that's my story, but everyone's got a story. But
Exactly.
So I don't want people to go, oh, listen to Brenden just talking about the ups and downs, but everyone goes through it. But I'm just stoked to be able to come out the other side, where a lot of people don't, and don't have that support network. And I was very fortunate that I did. But at the same time too, I'm very proud of myself, because the only person that's going to get you through that is yourself. So I'm going to give myself a pat on the back for that.
Oh, please do. It's hard, because in moments like these in your life, and you being willing to be vulnerable, because I just picked this word up about a year ago.
Yeah.
If you knew the phases of Alex Gray, they're very chronological, and only I know them, because they're walls that I built up of what I was going to allow people to see, and then who I was even going to let in to what was really going on behind those walls. And it was a very tough struggle for me as an extrovert, somebody whose career was based off of personality as well. Man, I had my dark times on my own.
Yeah.
And really, for the first time in my life, am I allowing people honestly in and projecting via words, actually telling people, like, no, listen, this is what I deal with. This is who I am, who I always will be. But I'm not willing to entertain those aspects anymore. And the only way to do that is facing myself, but then allowing others to see it in hopes that they can grow and not have to go through what I put myself through.
Yeah. That's inspirational stuff, but it's true. It's like, it's amazing learning curve. It's amazing, you know, like I said, there's no book there for us to show, you got to go this way, go that way. It's just, you got to find it yourself. And then, yeah, it's bizarre.
But
Sorry.
it's amazing, and it was hard for me because my whole self-identity, not whole, but so much of my self-identity, I like to work. And people don't consider surf career as work, but I loved, when I went away from competition, trying to get photos and trying to get a good video part.
I work,
you know, elongate my contract.
I agree. Same. If I spend a lot of time, you know, like just to get that one shot, you know, that they needed a shot in the mag, a certain shot, or Billabong needed a certain photo, they wanted to, you know, I'd stay out there for 4 hours, 6 hours in the water until we knew we got that shot. And then back in the day, it was shot with film. It wasn't shot with a digital camera. And then you're like, far out, typical Murphy's Law. You get the perfect barrel come when you just run out of film or whatever, and have to go in and change and take the Lord housing apart. And Jack McCoy had like 3 minutes of film on his 16mm camera. So, you know, it'd shoot for like 3 minutes of extra slow motion footage. Then it took him like an hour to go in and rechange the film. So it was like, everything was hard. It was hard work back then. I mean, to be productive with making a movie or getting photos. I'm not saying it's any harder now with digital, but it was pretty classic, that transition of when digital films or whatever came out, and then all of a sudden you can be paddling back out the lineup and go, "Is this shot pretty good in the water housing?" You're like, "Are you kidding me?" Like, you can see it right there and then. It's pretty cool. Like, you can work really a lot more productive, obviously, with technology today. But yeah.
Oh, you went through the transition that is to now. Like, for me, I have photographers that after pulling into a closeout, like, I'll watch a wave come in and have nobody look at it, and I'll see someone and go, "That's gonna run me right past that fisheye. I'm going."
Yes. Yes. And you know,
I would
you're
never
gonna
go.
get smashed.
Yeah, but it was part of my job.
It was. And that's what, if you didn't get the shot in Hawaii, you go, "Oh my God, okay, I'm going to have to go off the wall when it's 8 foot closing out. And no, I'm going to have to get that closeout barrel shot just to sort of tick the boxes." Because, you know, the barrel's going to look deep and you're going to look heavily, you know, you're going to look, you're going to get the shot. And it's usually a goddamn 8 foot closeout barrel that to tick the box for your sponsors. It's like, yeah, I remember those days.
You actually crack me up, because when I see you in big waves, you look more comfortable than most. And so to hear you say, "Oh, I don't like big waves," it's actually a super huge surprise to me.
Well, Well, compared to the waves these guys are riding today, like, my God, like, yeah, it's mind blowing. I realized that I did my first trip to ship sterns. I went with Rasta, this guy Andrew Campbell, and Justin Gain filmed. And Andrew Campbell lived in Tasmania, and I think we were the first guys to actually walk in there and surf the place. Like, it was a mission to get there. And we got out there, it was like solid 10 foot. I was like, had a 7.6. You don't ride 7.6 surfboards in a heavy round wave like that. Not that we didn't know back then. But once I got worked on a few takeoffs there, and just the vulnerability of like a 2.5 hour walk into the place, and then getting washed into the rocks, and it just being so scary, was and no one there to rescue you, or, you know, you have to walk back or get carried out of that place, made me realize, wow, this is hardcore, scary stuff just to get the shot. But yeah, I know. But the way surfing, the limits have been pushed with surfing today, to what the big wave guys do, or those guys that charge the, you know, choke you when it's like 15 feet, or ship sterns when it's 15 feet. It's like, that's next level. Full, but those guys are amazing.
So, Margo, what brought you out of the 2-year surf hiatus? You know, the jobs you were working, where you were at in life, and
Yeah.
what re-sparked it?
My son re-sparked that. Yeah, he was a young Grom getting back in the water, and then I got back in the surf with him. He was learning to surf, and then I was just all of a sudden I was out there paddling with him. Yeah, getting back in the water. Like I always loved the ocean was always in my blood, obviously. But yeah, he got me back into surfing. Then I just taught him how to surf, and my daughter as well. And yeah, then all of a sudden, yeah, I found my feet again. But yeah, I was back keener than ever. And I moved down the coast from the coast. It was a little less crowded down there, and you could find a beach break to yourself, and that's where it felt my roots were back from the early days where I didn't have to hustle with crowds and whatnot. And yeah, I just got right back into it again.
I think when we started this session, there was a line that maybe you love surfing more than ever, or it's a whole new aspect of just no stickers, pure, you know, what surfing is for most people.
Exactly.
And going through your entire career, that 10-year span, the 2-year hiatus, a feat of depression, going into new job fields. How good does it feel right now? Because when I see you, dude, you look really happy. You look really good.
Thank you. Yeah, no, it feels, yeah, I'm like the happiest I've been in my life at the moment. Well, I've been like that for quite a while. But it just makes me, yeah, I guess during that period of time from when I was 20 to 35, I didn't know at the end of it, I was taking it a little bit for granted, just like, but now after I lost that surfing career and then realized how lucky I was to travel the world in perfect waves and whatnot, then I don't know, just that transition was very difficult. And then all of a sudden to re-find the ocean again and realize I'm having just as much fun as when I was traveling when I do get good waves. It's like, I don't know, it's just, you know, it's in our blood. We're just, the lifestyle, everything about it's just healthy, beautiful. And just the mindset that it gives me being in the ocean, yeah, is amazing. Whether, you know, some days you connect with the ocean and it just feels so, you can't explain, you know, when you get that rhythm feeling and just when you feel, you're not thinking about anything else except riding that wave. You always hear people talking about that stuff, but that's what it's so special about it, and I love and I can't believe I didn't have that in my life for a period of time. And yeah, it's back and I love it. And even now, yeah, just I don't even have to ride a goddamn shortboard. I can get out on a mount with my girlfriend or yeah, whatever. It's just about being in the ocean and catching waves. It's amazing.
Oh, it's so nice for me to hear all this because, Margo, I can sit here and ask you these questions because I'm literally projecting what I'm going through right now.
Yeah.
I still have a surfboard sponsor, Channel Islands, and it trips me out that I am even comparable to anybody of the world tour surfers that they have. And I'm still playing the game of trying to stay relevant and sell their product.
Yeah.
But surfboards are so important to me. You know, as I fade out of this, I'm like, what do I need more than anything in what I love in surfing outside of pure joy? It's surfboards.
Yeah.
And so I still have a big toe in the whole thing, but I've had to let go of, man, so many of my attachments and finding grounding in day-to-day life, what's normal life, is so hard. Letting go of watching swells and being, I can up and go to Fiji, I can go to Chopu, I can go to a place that I found that's nobody ever seen before. Like, we were blessed and are blessed with such a unique sport that at times is wordless. Yes. You cannot find or form words to explain it. And to let some of it go, man, it's so hard.
It is. It's like, It's really hard. I know. And a lot of it's like words can't explain the feelings of certain things. And you know, what tripped me out too was I just went to Hawaii 2 months ago for the first time in over 12 years. And just, I don't know, like Hawaii, there's something about the place. Because I'd spent so many years there. I did like 15, 16 years in a row, whatever. Like, and then not going there for such a long period of time, but just the smell of the place, this, I don't know, just certain elements that you can't put words to. And just being back in the water there, it was just such a, man, the feeling it gave me was amazing. And
Okay, internet's hilarious here. It was either on my end or Margo's end, but we dropped internet. We're going back. Sorry about that, everybody. That was epic. Okay, we're gonna get Margo back in here. Here we go. Waiting for Margo to join, connecting. Oh!
Of course I can. I have to come here and fix it.
thank you.
Hey, we all need to know the behind the scenes, so thank you for putting yourself in there.
Thanks, Lorena.
You're welcome.
Hey, thank you for making our favorite surfer so happy.
I was like, I'm embarrassed. He is making me the happiest person on earth. That's for sure.
It's really fun. It's fun to hear that you guys get to surf together. For a single 33-year-old like me, I'm like, it'd be so cool to go on a longboard sesh with a woman I'm in love with.
Yeah.
He's pushing me. I'm getting there.
That's awesome. Is it fun for you to see somebody like me that's like, this guy's calling the person I'm in love with because he thinks he's the best surfer in the world?
It's super interesting, especially because when I met him, I had no idea at all. And I slowly, with the relationship, I got to understand all this appreciation that people have about him. And I was like, oh, wow, I think I have a sort of big deal in here.
Well, that's so cool. You have a very humble man. I understand why you're with him, and again, I know you because of social media is funny. There's parts of it that I absolutely hate, and then there's other parts where I'm like, wow, I get to know about people that I seriously enjoyed knowing about, and get to see it behind the scenes. And it really seems like you guys are in an awesome place. Like how happy of a relationship you have. It's really cool.
It's amazing.
Thank you.
So post more. The next post I want to see is you guys tandeming on a wave.
We can do this.
We'd love to see that.
All right.
I will go back. Good try. Thank you.
Oh, it's okay. This happens
Nice to
all the
meet
time.
you.
This is the best thing ever. Dude, Margo, this is so fun. None of us
funny.
have any idea what we're doing here, so it's all good.
Okay, cool. I have to hold this.
I lost you at the end there, but I do want to hear a little bit towards, what the closure of that trip was. What's it like now having a son? Your son rips.
Yeah, he's surfing good. That's amazing. I was so stoked to do one. I don't know if it's going to be the last trip. Like, it's amazing. We got to do this trip right before all this shit happened with the coronavirus. So very fortunate to have a surf trip with my son. We've been meaning to have a trip it's been quite a long time since we've had a trip together. So, and to go to Hawaii with him and sort of not so much teach him, but show him the ropes of, how heavy the place is and whatnot. He adapted really good, and I was just so stoked being in the lineup with him. The place that meant so much to me and helps my career. And just, seeing him surf in Hawaii was amazing. It blew my mind to be there with my son. And I never thought I'd have that opportunity again, you know, to get back to Hawaii. So it was very, very cool.
If I think about such a subject and I get to have a boy and to have him know the love of surfing and then get to do a part of this, how awesome is that full circle for you now being a father as the apprentice to the person you love the most, your son? Like, dude, you get to pass on the thing you love most, and you know how rad it is. It's the dream, if I really think about it.
It's pretty cool. It's very, very special. Yeah, it's mind-blowing. It's very fulfilling, and I'm very proud of him, whether he surfed or not. Like, he's turned out to be just a beautiful kid, and he's fallen in love with surfing like I did, and he reminds me a lot of myself at that age. Just that, oh, you know what it's like when you're 19. You're very carefree and a bit oblivious to what's going on in the world, but we all were at that age. But he's surfing good. I'm stoked that he's got more of a he's more of a carver. He's not an air guy sort of thing. So that's follows my footsteps a little bit there, I guess, which I'm sort of stoked about. But yeah, he's a good kid and he surfs really good.
It's fantastic. So, Margo, in hearing, a virtual bit of your story, and my goal is to come and hang out with you one day, just so you know.
That'd be awesome. Yeah.
And I'm self-inviting myself to your house.
I'll wave your plane in.
Hey, you're not allowed to carry my bags. No way.
No. Okay.
Don't touch my bags because I'll go home. I will go home. I'll carry your everything. I'll put you on my back and I'll take you into whatever. I can't drive on the wrong side of the road, though. I'm not good at that.
Okay, I've got you there.
But in hearing your journey and what's so fun, and already knowing via you years ago, you're just a human. You're so humble. You're such a nice guy. In being human through this, can you give some advice? Maybe it's what you tell your son, but anybody, and we'll get through what we're going through now, but that's on the verge or wants to pursue their passion, that is for sure going to deal with unexpected circumstances in life. What's the big picture when you can look back on, like, hey, what could I tell Margo when he was 13? In the next 20 years, this is going to happen. Don't give up.
That's a really good question, isn't it? I think being an individual, don't follow what other people are doing and just follow your heart, is probably one of the most important things to fulfill it fulfills, everything you're going to do in life. It's what you want to do as an individual, not what other people, don't copy other people, just be yourself, and follow your heart, and good things will come out of that. And then you can't blame anyone else for any other mistakes. It's your journey, and you got to stick to your journey. Don't get involved with being persuaded by other people. Just follow your own true beliefs, and I'm sure everyone's true beliefs are good intentions. So you can't go wrong there with, I don't know. That's what just came with me off the top of my head.
Okay, perfect. Hey, it's so good. Margo, thank you so much for your time here.
You're welcome. Thank you, Alex. You made my day too. It was a pleasure to meet you, and it was pretty cool doing this. Epic. Feels like you're right here across the kitchen bench next to me.
I'm glad you enjoy it, and you being willing to do things like this, and even for myself, this is totally uncomfortable, but you'll never know who you truly affect here. So to continue your legacy of everybody that obviously I look up to and we look up to, you're doing such a fantastic job.
Thank you so much.
And it makes all of us super happy to see you so stoked at this moment, because you deserve everything. Like, you've done so much for our industry, so much for many individuals out there now, that we want to see you happier than ever. And just know you have a whole world out there backing you.
That's amazing. Thank you so much for the kind words. And thanks to all my friends and family and fans out there that do love my surfing. I'm blown away that people still care about me, but it doesn't matter. I'm in a good headspace, and I love loving it. Yeah.
I love it. I've actually seen some of your co 90s Australian rippers on here supporting you. I don't know if you've been looking at the comments.
I have little flicks here and there and seeing a few crew. It's amazing.
That's so cool. Hey, to you and all of your crew that's still surfing and surfing their brains out, I want to do this the rest of my life. So thank you for continuing to be an example, even through the hardships.
Yeah, Dino.
Not putting any pressure on you, because there'll be more to come. But man, we're so lucky to have surfing. It's our universal language. It's gorgeous.
It is. We're all there for each other. It's amazing.
Epic. You are the GOAT. This guy Guso just said you're the GOAT.
I'm the GOAT.
But hey, by the way, thank you for shaving for the interview. I have to acknowledge
it wasn't for the interview. I was so bored yesterday. I had a moustache.
You were going live and you're like, I gotta shave up.
No. All right. This has been amazing, Alex.
Hey, Margo, I'm taking a photo. Smile, brother.
Okay. You.
Hey, beers are on me. VBs are on me when I carry your luggage up the tarmac.
VB. Okay, gotcha.
Thank you so
See you
much,
later.
Arjun.
Thanks, Alex.
We love you, dude.
You.
Later.
Love you guys too. Cheers.